I'm Steph Stricklen with GeekWire Studios here at AWS reInvent, joined now by Magi Kapoor. She is with Dell Technologies. She is the director of Dell Technologies Multicloud Product Management. How are you today?
I'm good, how are you? Thanks for having me here.
My pleasure. How's the conference been?
Excellent, so lively and big.
It's a very big deal for you and for Dell and for all the hard work that you've put in, and also the partnership with AWS. We will talk about all of that, but let me start and talk a little bit about what you notice amongst your customers. The partnership with AWS has given you personally, as well as professionally, and your company some tremendous insights. What are you seeing in the space?
Yeah, and Dell, as you know, is a vendor who's been in the space of storage, servers, laptops, right? So we talk to a wide range of our customers, that are out there. And what we've learned is it's a multi-cloud world, right? Especially as, the IT leaders are in the space looking for solutions. They're looking for really best of breed capabilities to bring that can solve their business needs in as quickly as possible, time frame. And I think partnering with AWS has been really huge in bringing that timeliness to them, right? Really that ease and the ease and the agility that AWS and the public cloud brings to the IT users have been tremendous. But then, what we are starting to learn and listen from the customers as they're adopting the public clouds and the ease and the agility, it's resulting in a little bit of an inconsistent experience when they're looking at, and when we talk about multi-cloud, we not just talk about the public clouds, but, your on-prem data centers, the co-location facilities, the edge environments, pretty much anywhere and everywhere applications and data lives is where the multi-cloud is, right? And so the challenges that it really brings to the end customers in IT space is around management complexities, right? As you're managing a lot of your infrastructure that's spread across this multi-cloud environment. It also results in skill gaps, that users might have because they're trying to use applications and data across the multi-cloud environment, right? And really limited visibility into their holistic estate that they might have. So those are the main challenges that we hear from our customers, and we love to call this internally at Dell as multi-cloud by default. It's kind of resulted in that, in that notion, and we're here to help our customers with that phenomenon of fixing from being multi-cloud by default into how we transform them into multi-cloud by design, if that makes sense.
I love that. That is such a great way of putting it, and given the perspective and the knowledge that Dell has in the space, you're probably able to offer your customers a bit of comfort, if you will, going into it, saying, look, this transition may feel awkward. You have a million different irons in the fire, like you said, on-prem, public cloud, right, wherever it is, containers, doesn't matter. We can help you solve all of those problems and make it feel seamless, which leads me into some very big news. For Dell, for you personally. Let's talk a little bit about your Navigator. This is an incredible tool that will help people solve some of the very challenges you've just outlined for us.
Yeah, absolutely. And before talking about the Navigator, I actually love to talk about our multi-cloud strategy and how we at Dell are approaching multi-cloud, right, to solve the customer challenges. And really our multi-cloud strategy is twofold. One, what we like to call is our ground to cloud strategy, which is where, we have best of breed products in storage that we sell in data centers for years, and we've really perfected our solutions, right? Now what we're doing is in our ground to cloud strategy is software defining those products and making them available in the public clouds, right? So really giving that flexibility to the customers to use that ease and agility that we talked about in the public clouds. So that's one part of our strategy. The other part is cloud to ground, as cloud OSs are coming on-prem, how do we offer the best-of-breed infrastructure on-prem for that really cool hybrid experience to the customers, right? So with our ground to cloud and cloud to ground, comes an opportunity to really provide a consistent experience or a centralized experience to our end users, no matter where your data and application resides, and that's where Navigator comes into play. It is really a centralized management SaaS tool that we're bringing to customers that can give them this ability to manage their entire estate through a single pane of glass. And that's really what we are offering to, and I'm so excited that the product is out and customers can get to use it, because I'm super proud of what we've brought to market.
You describe it in one sentence, but as soon as you said it, I thought to myself, this must have been intensely challenging.
Absolutely, yes.
Tell me about the process.
Yeah, so there are a few things that we're bringing to market when it comes to this. And when I really describe the key capabilities of the product, it's all about, I talked about our software-defined products in the cloud. There is so much nuance to deploying that, enterprise class storage offering in a third-party infrastructure like AWS, right? How do you provision the right infrastructure? What are the different, there's so much that goes into that, but we're automating that whole process. It's actually a pretty long, if you look at it, it's a 41-page PDF that we've kind of automated in a step that, the end users can go and deploy it. And really, once it's deployed, doing a lot of the day two activities like lifecycle management of your software that's sitting in the cloud, but also providing key insights and observability into the health and performance and those kinds of things, like providing the observability and the monitoring of your subscriptions, for instance, is what we're bringing to market. And then one of the huge things which has been the most difficult here is the ability to have data mobility and, placing the data. One of the things I mentioned is data placement is a big challenge for our customers, right? So how do we solve that? And that has been one of the hardest things to bring to market. And then that leads me into the most important thing, which is security, and how do we bring in the product that has all the zero trust principles embedded is really been one of the hardest things to kind of put in the product. But I'm so excited that all of that comes with the first product as customers start to use it.
When you have the ability to move your data where you need it to be, you gain a certain measure of fluidity. Do you find, or do you anticipate for your customers that this will be a time-saving benefit or a financial value add, or maybe both? Where do you really see this benefiting the sort of customers that will benefit from this release?
Yeah, I think it depends on customer environments. Like a lot of times, what we hear from customers is, they place the data one place and a business need changes, right? And because of that business need change, they need to move the data from one place to another. So for instance, you have a workload that's running on-prem, and and now the customers have a business need to move that to AWS, for instance, because they may have committed spend in the cloud, that, or whatever the reason might be, right? So it may not be a financial reason why they're moving, but it may be a business need that they're moving to the cloud. So we give the ability to give that consistent experience to move that data. And then 6 months later, they might decide, oh, this application doesn't really fit in the cloud, so we may want to repatriate it and bring it to the cloud. And so there are so many different reasons to do it that we see the customers. We want to make sure that we just give them the tools so that they can take advantage of it. And some may be a really good financial decision, other may not be, depending on the situation.
I think outside of our world, a lot of companies, the larger they get even, maybe struggle to understand something that is what makes the cloud such a smart, there's many reasons why the cloud works, but it is the ability to turn it on and turn it off, so to speak. The things that you need to grow your business in the moment, you are not committed to. It is not brick and mortar, so to speak, correct? So I find that very interesting, and as people grow comfortable with this, the adoption obviously is there already, but people will have a better experience, more efficient experience of what they do. You talked about security, and I want to get back to that. Because when you start moving data, you create a broader attack surface, for lack of a better way of putting it. Can you tell me a little bit more about the measures that are in place to really protect customer data?
Absolutely, yeah. Maintaining security and control of, your environment is one of the top most challenges that any business has, right? And especially in this IT landscape, as things are expanding to third-party infrastructure and tools like what we're providing, I think it's become a lot more critical to provide, a very secure connection to this infrastructure or the SaaS tools that we're providing. And so the Apex Navigator really provides that secure connection for the customers and really putting security in the hands of our end users and the customers, right? So whether it is your usernames, your passwords, your keys, anything that you have to do with it, and we're doing that using federation, as well as role-based access for the end users. So really giving the end users the ability to federate their users with the identity that they want to bring in and use that. And so the way we're solving is by putting security in the hands of the end users rather than us taking care of that for them, right? But we're in along with them in this journey and really making the product adopt the zero trust principles has been the key to it. So once you are federated, once you're logged in as your IT ops persona, then that persona can add additional users to bring in and give them the right roles and access permissions to use different capabilities. We talked about deployment, we talked about observability, data mobility, and there might be different users in the organization who want to do different tasks. And so that user can define those roles within their own federation, and then the ability to do SSO, which is single sign-on, is key because you think about think about data mobility. You don't want users to constantly enter credentials because that can be a very painful experience. So we have taken that into account to make sure that we can give that level of single sign-on experience to the customers once they're in.
I'm excited for you.
Thank you.
This has been a labor of love. What is the most rewarding part of your job?
Just ultimately as a product manager to see customers use your product and be like, you guys did a fabulous job. That is really the biggest reward. So we have been in stealth mode for a while. We've been building the product. Now that it's out, I can't wait for our users to use it and provide us feedback. It's just a beginning, I'll just say that. There's so much more to be done here, but I'm very excited about it.
I have to ask you then, can you give me just a little bit of a roadmap on what's next?
Of course, yes. Product management loves roadmaps, right? So we have a pretty, broad roadmap, things that we're going to bring to market. So firstly, we talked about storage, the endpoint that we're bringing to market with the first release. It's block storage, but we also have file, we have data protection, we have object storage. So the goal is to expand and make sure that we bring all of those protocols into the Navigator. So that's one aspect of it. The other aspect is as we are bringing the capabilities, we talked about deployment, observability, data mobility, there are so much more knobs, that we can bring to market, just like in data protection, right? Or data mobility pieces. There are so many aspects around data management all the applications that we have to cover, right? So there's going to be a lot of capabilities and enhancements that will add to the existing functionality that we're bringing. And then the third part is really, as we're bringing the product that we talked about is very focused on multi-cloud storage, but we also know that the world is moving towards containers, and Kubernetes is a very big thing. So we're going to have very soon, early next year, so stay tuned for that, Navigator for Kubernetes, which is going to bring in some of the very similar capabilities, bringing that whole centralized, consistent experience between on-prem and the clouds, but more focused for Kubernetes. So we're very excited about all of that.
Congratulations to you and your team.
Thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure. Magi Kapoor, everyone, you are watching GeekWire Studios.